Hello, my name is Debbie and welcome to my channel. I'm starting this channel today in obedience to the Lord. It's been a long time coming and I've kind of put things off, but I'm getting it started now. I just ask people to be patient with me. I'm just learning this. I have my grandchildren help me get on here and have set things up for me, so I am just getting started with it. So let me just tell you a little bit about myself. First of all, I am a Christian, and I have been married to my husband Randy for 51 years come September the 10th. I am a mother of 2, I am a grandmother of 6, and a great-grandmother of 16. And I have a big old spoiled Great Dane, and I am a full-time caretaker for my husband. I just want to share a little bit on this channel about the journey that my husband has gone on from when he started to get sick and really bad sick into where he is now, and for the victories that God has let us overcome on those things. The name of my channel will be Simply Debbie, and I would just be sharing things each and every day of the Lord will puts on my heart to share. But I'd just like to take you on the beginning of the journey. Just wanted to start with that. My husband's illness started with his legs, and that was like 3 years ago. His legs started swelling and getting very big, but we didn't notice that until we had taken pictures of him at a family outing. And when we went back to look at the pictures, we seen that his legs was extremely huge. Now, he had been hurting in his legs, but he still wasn't at the place of where he was going to be with them. So anyway, his legs, the muscles in his calves started just kind of looking like cottage cheese, and he was kind of beginning to hurt then. So he would put stuff on his legs, and he went to a doctor to see what was going on with them, and they just told him it was inflammation, and there wasn't really nothing they could do about that. Well, as time went on, his legs got worse. So he did everything that he could. He went to a chiropractor, and he did that for a while, thinking his body was out of line, and so he did that for a little while, but his legs just got worse. Now, in the meantime, he did work every day. That man worked every day, and his legs was as stiff as a board, but he still did that. So anyway, we could tell him every day, we're praying for you. We've got everybody on the prayer line for you. Everybody in the family's praying for you. And, we're going to get past this. God is going to get us out of this. The leg problem went on for 1 year. 1 year. So each and every time that we would ask him, is your legs getting any better? Are you getting any better? He would say, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. And I had made up an herbal thing for him, because I'm big in the herbal. I'm big in that for healings and stuff. So I had made a ginger that you put with olive oil, and you have to bake it for about an hour so it infuses into the olive oil. Well, he would put that on his legs, and that would give him quite a bit of relief, quite a bit. So finally, he just gave up on going to the chiropractors because it wasn't doing him any good. As a matter of fact, he was in more pain when he left than when he got there. So anyway, as time went on, he finally come to the place of himself where he said, you know what? He had watched Jentezen Franklin on a Sunday morning on preaching, where they were on a 21-day fast, and they said, anything that you're wanting God to do for you, take this fast with us. So my husband went on a 21-day fast from his computer, because the computer was the thing that he did most. That's what he liked to do. He learned from it. He would order from it, everything he did. So he took a 21-day fast from that. And it was in about a week after that he was healed. His legs was healed. So, prayer does work. Prayer works. But the thing that had hindered the prayers of everybody that was praying for him, was him. Because he later told us that he doubted, and the doubt is what stopped the prayer from coming. It was finally when he stepped out in prayer and he showed God, I do believe that you will heal me. I do. So just want to kind of let everybody know prayer is very important. That's one thing you don't get away from. You don't get away from that, because that is your relationship with God. That is how you build a relationship with God. When you get saved and you want to start that relationship, prayer time is very important. We have to spend time with God, and we have to do that on a daily basis. It's the same thing as when people get married. If you don't talk to one another, that relationship is going to die. It's never going to grow, and it's never going to build. So always remember, it's very important. Jesus prayed. The Bible taught that. So prayer did change his life. It did bring him healing. And it made him understand that if he had not doubted, that his healing would have came a lot sooner than it did. So, with that, he had many other ailments, many other things that came down the line. But I did want to start with that, because that is where everything started with him. Everything. So, we have to keep our faith in. Our faith has to stay strong in God no matter what. We have to believe what the Bible has said. And, I'm going to talk a lot about that. We've had to walk a lot in faith and trust God and say, no matter what, I'm not turning from that. I'm not going to listen to nobody else, and I'm not going to nothing. Whatever God says, that settles it, and that's how it's going to be. So, anyway, I want to, just tell you a few other things that about myself as we go into this, because it's going to be a combination of things that I like and the things with him that we do. So some of the things that I like to do is decorate. I do like to decorate a lot for every holiday. And I do love Sunday dinners. Sunday dinners are very important to me. I like to sit down with family and just be able to take your time and talk and eat that dinner and just spend that time together. If you are at a place in your home where you don't have a room for a table, I know when me and Randy first got together, we didn't have room for a table, we just didn't have it. But if you don't have room for a table, get you a folding table with some folding chairs, set that table up and have you a Sunday dinner. You'll see it's going to make the biggest difference in your life. It will, because you're able to sit down, you talk about things, you learn things, and you experience things that you just don't do if you're eating in separate rooms. And that's what a lot of people do. The one thing that I do not allow in my house are devices to be brought to my dinner table. That's not allowed. I don't want to see the top of somebody's head while we're having dinner. I don't do that. I have a sign that's in my kitchen, no devices allowed at the dinner table, and that sign will forever stay that, because there's no sense in nobody sitting at a kitchen table with eating and the phones be on. No. So no, I don't allow that in my house. Cut the phones off and get rid of them while you're having dinner. That's the best thing to do. Shut it off. There has to be family time, and there has to be time when we get away from that phone, when we get away from the computer, and say, I'm not going to do that. We're going to spend quality time together. We're going to spend quality time together. I miss that time with my husband when he could be with us on Sunday. Now, there are some times that we are able to get him up and he is able to come and share Sunday dinners with us, and that's a good day. So, we are still in prayer for him. We are still believing, because God has said he is going to heal him. And the things that we say God said he's going to do it. The only thing God doesn't tell us is when. We just have to trust in faith, and we have to walk and believe. You just walk and believe, because if God says he's going to do it, he's going to do it. You can count on that. So I just ask everybody that you would keep my husband in prayer and stand with us in prayer, and that asking God to heal him and get him up out of that bed, because we still have a lot of time together. We still have things we want to do. We might not have a lot of time together, but there's still things that we want to do. We did everything together. We did everything. We was always together, other than when he was at work. We was together. And, that's how it's been, and that's how I would like to see it again. In this past year, when he took to the bed. He's in the bed right now. I went through all the firsts, and that's hard. People say that when somebody passes away. I went through my first Christmas, my first Thanksgiving. Well, I went my first too, because just because somebody is with you and they're in the house with you doesn't mean that you do not grieve what you have lost together. We have lost spending time together. We have lost spending time with holidays, spending time. And those are the things that you want back. But you grieve. You grieve for that loss. And it's not easy. Life's not easy, but you just keep going. You just keep going, and you don't let nothing stop you. And you don't let your faith fold, and you don't break. You don't break. So I ask you to stay in prayer for my husband, and that he would heal him and get him up, that we would be able to share our lives together again like we always have, and that he would heal him from head to toe and just let everything be like it was. So anyway, I just want to let you know I am starting this channel. And if you think you would like to go on the journey that I am going to go with on him, because I am going to cover so much of what he has gone through in hospitals, what doctors did to him, what they did not do to him, what God did for us, how we overcame with him. I'm going to share a lot of stuff. And I'm sure it's going to help some people who are going through the same thing, because some of this stuff is bad that he had to go through, but God got us out of it. So if you think that you would like to go on this journey with me, I ask that you would subscribe to my channel, that you would like my channel, comment, and share it. And that way that we can go on this journey together. And just want to thank you for your time. And again, my channel is Simply Debbie. And I'll see you the next time. Always remember who you belong to. See you later. Bye.